Hey climbers, and welcome back to weekly workout number 6. In this workout today, it's going to be a quick one. We're going to cover grip strength training and power hour bouldering. This can be a great session for around the holidays when you don't have a lot of time, but you want to get in some quality training. So let's go ahead and talk about it. First up, we're going to do our classic zone 2 cardio warm-up and then some flow yoga to open up our ranges of motion for the day. After that, for our pre-climb training, we're going to split this into 2 sections, a grip warm-up and then our grip workout. For our grip warm-up, we're going to use a work-to-rest strategy called Tabata. This is going to be 20 seconds on and 10 seconds off. So we're going to be doing this for a couple different exercises. The first one is going to be barbell finger curls or PVC finger curls. After that, we'll do wrist rotations in 2 different variations with our palms up and then our palms down. Then we'll take a quick rest to let the metabolites flush that we've built up in that warm-up, and then we'll jump into the primary grip workout. Today, we're going to stick with one exercise, and we're going to be doing loaded one-arm hangs. This is going to be a great exercise for building your grip strength and then also building shoulder stability. We're going to build strength and tolerance in those muscles that support the shoulder joint doing our one-arm hangs. After our grip training, we'll jump on the wall for power hour boulders. We're basically going to limit ourselves to the rest of the time remaining in the session in the 60 minutes that we've allotted for this training session. So we'll likely have about 45 minutes to spend on the wall. Our grip should be feeling really warm. Our ranges of motion should be feeling pretty good from our warm-up. So really we can just jump on the wall and start cranking the intensity. The idea here for this power hour bouldering session is to get to flash pretty quickly and then stay at that level. We're going to be looking for boulders that take maybe 3 or 4 attempts, or we can flash first try. But the style that we're after is going to be overhung around 30 to 45 degrees, and then focusing on boulders that are a little bit more straightforward and less focused on problem solving. There are a few ways that we can focus on improving our technique, even though the boulders today are going to be a little bit more straightforward and simple. So first and foremost is going to be placing our hands and our feet accurately. We should be watching our foot placement every single time so that we're not bouncing our feet on holds, trying to feel out the position. We should know because we've seen our foot place exactly where we want it to build that confidence. And then same thing for our hands. We want to make sure that we're hitting the handhold first try right where we want to, so we don't need to readjust on these hands. And then the last thing to think about, which we haven't talked about too much and we'll go into detail a little bit later, is using momentum to influence our movement. Basically, the way that we do that is by setting up a really nice stable base where we can drive off of both feet in order to influence our center of gravity or our belly button up the wall. So with those technical tips in mind, after that, we'll go ahead and jump into our cool down. Again, today, that's going to be optional because we're trying to have a pretty quick session today and we might need to get out of here. So let's go ahead and jump into our warm-up. Okay, next up, we're doing our first part of our grip workout, and that's going to be Tabata finger curls. So I'd recommend picking up a timer if you don't have one for training. This is just a kitchen timer for like $3 or $4 off of Amazon. This has been an essential piece of gear that I've had in my bag for many years. It's an amazing way to keep yourself limited on distractions by not using your phone. So definitely grab one of these. They help in so many scenarios in training. So let's go ahead and jump into these barbell finger curls. Okay, next up we have kettlebell wrist rotations. So there's a couple different ways that we can do this and a couple of different implements that we can use. I have a judo belt or like a black belt that I bought off of Amazon and I just cut up and tied into a knot. This is padded and really nice on the hands. You could also use your t-shirt though, or you could try using things like climbing slings if they're like the wide version that's a little bit more comfortable. Okay, our grip should be feeling pretty warm at this point. Now it's time to jump into our one-arm bar hangs. Again, this is going to be a great one for building our grip strength and our shoulder stability. So let's try these out. If you're someone who can hang from this bar, but you're spinning, it's due to your ability to stabilize that shoulder joint and hold that position, and that's okay. We don't want to add any load at this point. We want to make sure that we're building up those stabilizing muscles first, and we can hold that position before we start to load the position. So to start, and just hang from the bar, and then you can use 1 or 2 fingers to basically press against something stable to correct your position. We're just going to focus on holding that in a stable position first to minimize the swing, and then once we have control from there, we begin loading afterwards. Last thing to talk about is how we can load these. So if you have more time than just the hour, a good strategy would be to use a couple of these loaded sets to warm up, keeping it maybe a little bit longer duration as you're working with lighter loads to really warm up, and then limit yourself once you have fully warmed up to have your first working set being your hardest. And then after that, it would slowly decline because you're losing resources or you're losing strength in the session. But if you just need to get through the session quickly, you can do like a progressive pyramid where you start lighter, then each set you add a little bit more. That's totally an okay strategy. The result of that ends up being in less total load. So if our goal is absolute strength gains or the most load that we can move in the session, we'd want to think about using a couple warm-up sets first, and then when we're completely warm and we have the most resources to contribute to that effort, our first working set should be the one that is really the hardest. That's it for our warm-up and our grip strength training session today. Now it's time to jump on the boards or on the commercial set and do our power hour bouldering. So as a reminder, these boulders should be pretty straightforward and allow us to get through them pretty quickly. So a little bit harder moves, a little bit more straightforward. And then we're going to be minimizing our rest in between these climbs in order to get a little bit more of that intensity out of this. So we're going to keep everything around flash grade or just slightly above. So 3 to 4 attempts max per boulder. And then again, we're going to be focusing on a little bit of technical proficiency, making sure that we're placing our feet very accurately, making sure that we're hitting hand holds first try. And then we're also using our lower body to influence our momentum on the wall. Let's jump into it.
Underneath my clothes, I'm always naked, like a street cat. I feel the wind against my skin. I wanna love ya, I'd love to love ya. I would do anything, but where do I begin? It's
Okay, that wraps it up for workout number 6. I had an absolute blast today and hope that you did too if you ended up trying this one out. As a quick recap, we started the session with some aerobic warm up and then we did our flow yoga. And after that, we jumped into our grip training, which we split into 2 sections, a warm up following a Tabata structure, which helped us organize our work and rest ratios. And then we did our primary stimulus for our grip training, which was loaded one arm hangs today. After that, we decided to jump on the wall for our shortest session yet, which was power hour bouldering, where we kept the intensity pretty high but limited our volume due to time, the 1 hour time cap. So if you're liking videos like this and you want to see more workouts or you want me to cover specific topics, be sure to add some comments to this video or on school and I'll create those videos for you. Hope to see you in the next workout.